If you run a content business, but you're not winning as many projects as you think you should be, give me the next 10 minutes of your time. I'm going to walk you through a pitch deck template that has won my businesses millions and millions of dollars over the course of the past 8 years. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the key components of what brands want to see in pitch decks, the kinds of things that get projects over the line and help you win more business. A little backstory, I've been running different content businesses for the past 9 years. Some social media strategy, a lot of videos, some commercials, some photo shoots, some graphic design stuff, motion graphics, all that stuff, selling packages of that stuff. Let me tell you, I have lost a lot of pitches, but along the way, I've won a lot of pitches as well too, and I've been taking notes on what works, what doesn't work, what kind of pitch decks get ghosted, what causes clients' eyes to glaze over in phone calls, and also what really gets them excited, what lights them up, what gets projects over the line, what gets big budgets booked. I've been taking notes on all that stuff, and I've incorporated it into this pitch deck template that I'm going to show you today. I have a sample deck for an imaginary jewelry brand that I'll walk you through. I'll take you through each page and explain why each one is important and why you need each page in your deck and when to use each one as well. Let's start with the title page. The title page is very important. It's the first impression, the first visual impression you make on your client. You want to give them something that looks good, that they want to open up, right? So what I have here is we're calling this jewelry brand Page Jewelry. This is just a fake brand that I made up. We're calling it Page Jewelry. So you can see right here, really big is their brand name. People who work at brands, they love to see their own brand name on decks and in content, etc. They always ask for the logo to be bigger anyways, right? So this is exactly what we're doing here. We're just putting their brand name front and center. In the top left corner here, I've got my imaginary production company, Reese Hopper Productions. I've also got the month, and then just a quick description of what this deck is about. So if this deck is getting passed around to different people within the organization, they could still take a quick glance at the first page and see, okay, who's this production company or who's the agency? Is this relevant? What am I going to be seeing here? That's what this information does. But mostly it just has like a really good image with the jewelry front and center as well there too, just to show them, hey, you're in the right place. This is going to look good. It's going to be worth your time. Your first page makes a great first impression. We'll move on here to the second page. In this one, I just want to make it as clear as possible for whoever's reading this, what they can expect in the deck. I don't want to bury it in too much creative language. It's okay if it looks good, that's fine, but you want to make it really clear what's coming next in this deck. So we have here still images and motion assets to empower Page Jewelry to shine online. So if someone reads that, they know exactly what they're going to see in this deck. It's not some big storyline about how you got started or how long you've been in business or what inspires you or what kind of camera you use. It's none of that. This is all for the people that you're pitching. What are they getting? They're getting still images, a pitch for still images. They're getting a pitch for motion assets, and it's going to help them shine online. So it's probably for digital or for social or something like that, right? You could even be as clear as that. If you wanted to change this, you could say something like, for digital or for social, something like that, if you wanted to be super, super clear right there. There's an image here as well to, just help push the narrative along as well of what we got going on here. We're selling jewelry. This should just be pieces from your portfolio or creative references to show them your head's in the right place. You're here to make them the content that is going to look good for them, the content that they want. That's what you have here on page 2. Clear as day. Going down to page 3, this is your deck outline. If you have a shorter deck, a deck outline might not be necessary. If you're pitching different photo assets, different video assets, different design assets, it could get a little confusing, then it could be helpful to have a deck outline just so they can know what to expect as well too. So we're talking about, project concept, about us, you have references in a storyboard, timeline, deliverables, rates, stuff like that, just so they know what to expect. Again, super practical. They're just going to scan over this, but this lets them know this deck is organized. It's not going to waste your time. Let's pause here for just one moment. So many of your competitors' decks are unorganized, and they do waste your client's time. So this may seem a little bit bureaucratic. It might seem a little bit like you're a creative, right? You're not like the most organized person in the world, but being organized in a deck like this becomes your unfair advantage. It becomes a competitive advantage in the marketplace when you can do that because so few people do it. Going on to page 4 here, this is just a section header, creative and team. They know what they can expect here. They're going to meet the team. They're going to see what kind of creative you have in store for them. It's not anything fancy, but again, we've got images of the jewelry or of the product that we're trying to create content for in here. All of this visual stuff just reinforces your head's in the right place creatively. You know what you're doing. You're going to make it happen. Now we move on to page 5, and this is the creative breakdown. This is your first real opportunity to let them know what you're going to be creating, who you're going to be creating it for, which kind of clients, how you're going to help them stand out, how you're going to help them avoid failure and achieve success. And that's really the process that we're going for here. I'm going to put this note here. A lot of this process comes from the book Building a Storybrand by Donald Miller. So if you haven't read that book, I really recommend that you go pick it up. I'll put it in the description below as well. You can check it out. But here's what we're doing here. We're creating this story-based framework to bring the client into a storyline about them that helps them achieve their goals and their successes, right? So the first little paragraph here or sentence, we're just showing them that we know who they are and what they do. Again, so many other people are going to be pitching clients. They don't really do their homework. They don't do any research. This is your chance to show, hey, we know what you do. We see you. We understand it. The second one here is that you're going to outline the problem. So this one, it says the issue is not with quality, but with differentiation. Standing out in an ocean of cheap Amazon imitators isn't easy, right? Every jewelry brand is going to be going up against Amazon. There's a bunch of, knockoffs, cheap jewelry, right? And so you kind of want to agitate that problem. Remind them, hey, this problem exists. There are competitors who are doing it for cheaper and stealing your business. We see that. We understand that. We're going to help you solve that. If you call that out, you agitate the problem a little bit. This is a very classic sales tactic that works well, even in decks. This third sentence here is going to show them the solution. With lifestyle and product imagery and motion assets, we'll show customers that jewelry is all about how it makes you feel. With Page Jewelry, people feel inspired and interesting. So the solution to these cheap Amazon imitators is that Page Jewelry's brand is obviously much more rich. It's much more exciting. It makes them feel much better to be wearing higher quality jewelry. And it's going to help the customers of your client feel inspired and feel interesting. So that's the solution you can present to them. Obviously, you would rework this for whatever kind of brand you are working with. But you would want to outline the problem and then the solution. Now, in these last two sentences, you're going to do something similar, but you're going to go more top level. The problem and solution was very specific. Amazon imitators, we're going to help people feel inspired. They're going to feel interesting. They're going to feel cool, right? That's very low level. Now we're going to go high level. So this fourth one here, we're going to help them avoid failure and achieve success. So we want to outline what failure looks like. Failure in a campaign like this for a brand like Page Jewelry could be like glitzy, gaudy of like old school jewelry. You think of like an old like jeweler in your town or something like that selling like this stuff that just isn't cool anymore. So we're saying it's a far cry from the glitzy, gaudy style of your competitors. We're not going that way. That's what failure looks like. We're going to put that in their mind of like, we're not doing that. We're going to help you avoid that. Maybe other people are trying to pitch you in that direction. We're helping you avoid that failure. We're going to help you achieve this success. This creative positions Page as the unique, the elegant, and the approachable one. That's what success might look like for Page Jewelry. Again, we're taking guesses here. Educated guesses with research. Maybe you had a conversation or a discovery call, or you met someone at a networking event and you understand what kind of stuff they're trying to solve with their content. So that's what you would outline as the success here. And the bottom is just another call to action to keep going. Read on and see how our creative will help set Page apart. We got the title here, Creative Breakdown. Of course, we've got more jewelry imagery just to help push that narrative as well. Going on here, we've got Meet the Creative Team. If you're pitching a big brand on a big budget, they don't want to see a pitch deck that has a creative team that just consists of one person, right? They want to know that they're being taken care of, that there's multiple angles of value being brought in. So that's what this creative team would be, right? Now, you may be asking, if I'm a one-person show videographer or photographer, I don't have a team. I don't have any employees. I don't have an assistant. Do I lie about that? What do I do? Now, a great approach for this is to find people who are willing to collaborate with you. Maybe you know another photographer, maybe you know another DP, maybe you know a producer. You can call them and you can say, hey, I'm going to put you on this pitch deck. If you're able to jump on this call with me, that's great. If we win the project, you get right of first refusal. And basically what that means is they have the first opportunity to either jump on the project or, say I'm not available and pass it off to someone else. A lot of people are going to be open to this because it just, guarantees potential business for them if they just have to jump on a 30-minute call and, talk through a presentation and say, hey, yeah, we're excited to be working on this one with you guys. That helps you present yourself as a creative team that's bringing more value than just one person. Again, that's going to help set you apart, but you don't necessarily need to hire a bunch of employees right off the bat while you're still doing this. Let's go on here. We're looking at a mood board. Now, if you're doing a photo campaign, it would be great to put together a mood board, either of creative references of what you could create or of stuff that you've shot in the past as well. This should just show a breadth of the kind of stuff that's possible within the bounds of the creative campaign. So that's what we have here. I just pulled these images from Unsplash, but if you had, more specific references for creative, that you're pulling from Pinterest or from different, creative sites or something like that, then that could be great to put in here. Or if you really wanted to show off your portfolio, this is also a great place to do that. Let's go on here to the storyboard. If you're pitching a video, like a hero video or a campaign video, maybe an ad video, it's a great idea to put together a mini storyboard like this. Now, this doesn't need to be anything that's official, but here's a problem that a lot of videographers, DPs, directors run into. We are really good at imagining what videos look like in our brain. We can see them in our brain. We lie down at night, we close our eyes, and we just see videos happening. Your clients are not like that. They can't imagine videos in their brains the same way you do. So you might put a couple things down on paper, or you might be talking to your friends who are also videographers or filmmakers, and you could just say, oh, we just have this wide shot that pushes in on this guy. It's like a nice low angle kind of thing. They would understand what you're talking about. When you're talking to a client who works at a brand, most likely they're not going to understand what you're talking about. So that's why you need a storyboard page like this to help them start to imagine what that video could look like. Again, this is another competitive advantage. If you can show, hey, this is what it's going to look like. We're going to have a bathtub. Then we're going to have a model in the robe with the jewelry. Then we're going to get some more like vibey shots showing the ocean and showing the wind and the grass to really bring this feeling together. That's a great competitive advantage, especially compared to other creatives and videographers who are just trying to pitch this stuff on a call verbally or trying to put it down on paper. If you can put a visual together like this, it's a great advantage. It helps your client start to imagine your video. And if they're already imagining your video, that sale's going to make itself. So now we go on to the deliverables and budget section. This is just another section header to show, hey, you're in the right place. We're doing deliverables and budget here. One quick note about deliverables and budget. When you think about the essential components of a pitch, people need to know, what am I getting? When am I getting it? And how much does it cost? When you think about the unessential components of a pitch, it's different creative language and it's these great mood boards, etc. But if your client doesn't know what you're pitching them, when they're going to get it, and how much it costs, that's not a pitch. That's just a creative soup. So this right here is the most important section of the deck. If you do nothing else, do this, because this at least gives them hard deliverables, hard assets to consider, a hard budget to see if it fits within their budget that they can make a decision on. So this first one here, we've got a timeline. Now what I like to do is create these very quickly scannable visual motifs that show we've got week 1, creative build, week 2 through 4, pre-production, right? So I'm not burying this in a big old paragraph of language and having them try to pick it out. I'm giving them something that, like, even if they're on the go, even if they're driving, they can scan this, read it, and understand, okay, this is going to take about 9 weeks. We're going to do production on week 5. They get that. It's really easy to see this visually because of these design elements here. So that's something to incorporate. Of course, obviously the timeline, but make it visual so that if they're scanning it, they understand immediately. Go on here to deliverables. So for an example here, I've got 20 lifestyle images, we got 20 product images, and then 1 product launch film. This, again, really strong visuals, shows them just at a glance exactly what they would be getting. And then for this one, I've got the full breakdown. Now you could do this a couple different ways. since we're delivering lifestyle images and product images and a product launch film, this is a bit much to put just in one quote or in one paragraph or just have one number represent it all. What I like to do is add this full breakdown and show how much everything costs. So they're getting 20 high-res images in the deliverable section. This is the process. These are the key dates of when it's happening, and then this is the rate for it. Same thing for the product images, the rate, the product launch film, the rate. And then, if you wanted to as well, you could put like a grand total line as well too and add all that up. Maybe that's like, $60,000 or something like that. Then you could do that as well too, just to show them, hey, you can pick and choose, or we can do the whole thing. That sort of depends on your strategy of like if you want to give them the option to see what each thing costs so they can pick and choose, or if you want to give them the all-in number. But either way, this brings great clarity to them of exactly what they're getting, when they're getting it, how they're getting it. They can see everything really clearly on one page. This has been really increasing the booking rates of the pitches I've been doing recently. So steal this breakdown table, because it's been working really well for me. Then at the end, I would have some kind of thank you page, another product image there as well too. I might even put my logo, I've got Reese Hopper Productions or something like that. Maybe that's my logo. I'll put that in there just to, a final touch of branding there as well. But that right there, this is what we're looking at. This is the full deck that has been helping me win millions and millions of dollars for me and my clients' production companies and booking all these creative projects. If this video was helpful for you, I've got two things that could be even more helpful for you. The first is a free pitch deck template that's on my website. It's a little bit more reduced than the one we walked through today, but it's still got everything you need, and it clearly explains all these principles we talked about. So you can go download that right now for free and have that on deck the next time a client reaches out for a pitch to you. The second thing that could be really helpful for you is my pitch deck pack. Now, this deck that we went through today, this is one of the templates in my pitch deck pack, but this is just one of 5 templates. I've also got a men's fashion template, a corporate template, a music video template, and a small business template, along with this women's fashion template. So any kind of client that you could encounter, you're going to have a ready-made template with all these extra pages. There's even extra pages in those templates that we didn't go through today. Different design styles, different approaches, depending on what you need for your project. Any kind of client that reaches out to you, you're going to be prepared with a really good-looking pitch deck template that helps you keep things organized and really gives you a competitive advantage when you're pitching. And when there's other people pitching, you're totally going to stand out. You're going to be really clear, really cool, really creative. You're going to have the best pitch decks. So if that sounds interesting to you or helpful to you, go pick it up. Both are linked in the description. And my final ask for you today is that if this video is helpful to you, please like and subscribe and comment if you have any questions. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope to catch you soon. Have a good day.